Hello and welcome to Whisky.com, where fine spirits meet. And today we're gonna have another tasting of the Whisky Vision TV cask. For everybody who does not know what the Whisky Vision TV cask is, it's a little project from me. And what I did was I took a cask and I replaced the ends with glass. And then I filled it up with new make spirit from St. Kilian. And now we are trying this as it aged for 1.5 years. And today I have Pat Hock here.
Yeah.
You are a YouTuber. Now you work for St. Kilian as a brand ambassador, master blender.
Yeah, it's a mixture of both. I'm presenting the distillery on whiskey fairs and at tastings. And what I'm doing in the distillery is produce content for the social media channels and the blending, getting to the casks and tasting, nosing and blending together with the whole team.
So if you are able to speak German, then go to his channel, have a look at the videos. But unfortunately, you don't do any English videos.
Not yet. Maybe in the future. Maybe I'll try in English.
The thing is that the good thing about doing videos in both languages, you don't double the time because when you prepare yourself, you read a bit up about the whiskey and you get the bottle and you set up the cameras and that kind of stuff. You just German take, English take.
Okay.
That's it. Oh, we got a lot of people here from Spain, and I've seen someone from Mosul, Iraq.
Oh, hi.
And someone has a Lagavulin in his glass. Oh yeah, hi from Germany. Marco V is here. third stream in a row. Yeah, I have to say today is a bit of a tough day. If you've seen, we have planned 2 live streams, and that means 2 German ones have already been done.
Yes.
And yes, we've already had about, I think it's now 7th glass already.
I stopped counting.
And the cask strength most of the time.
Yeah.
So let's talk a bit about the Whisky Vision TV. For everybody who is subscribed here, I want to show you the what do you call it? First of all, I'll give a bit more background, okay? I filled the cask here at St. Kilian. That's your filling room.
Yes.
And you can see how I fill up the casks.
Like when you get gas at a petrol station, it's pretty easy to fill a cask like that.
Yeah, but it's much, much nicer stuff. So, yeah, the beautiful thing was when the cask was full, it's actually very, very transparent. This here is the full cask.
This is the full cask.
Okay, this is the full cask, yeah. And if you look at the little sticker there, that's kind of the idea behind that. The idea was to kind of show how a whiskey is maturing, how the color is coming into a whiskey, and also a bit of trying how does the matured whiskey, how does that taste?
Okay.
How does that develop? And I see we got some of them Netherlands, New Mexico, from England, Ben working, hello from Canada and Mexico again. Many people from Mexico today. So yeah, let's talk about what happened so far. We've produced a time-lapse video you can see right now. And you see how the whiskey is dark. And you can see there's a bit of a shadow down there. And then I think we squished it a bit.
Pretty nice red color.
And it's getting darker and darker and darker. And you see, the level is dropping a bit. But unfortunately, the dropping of the level inside the cask is not really representative because it's more or less the stuff that we took out of it. Yeah. So you can see there's always a little
how the color is changing.
A little jump in it. And unfortunately now it's day-wise. Before we had it hourly and speed it up like that. And you can really see how slow movements in the cask were going around. So if you go to I think we did it with like 0 to 100 days or something like that. That was really interesting how actually it shifted back, and then you see a cloud forming at the bottom. So really, really interesting. So I would say let's not keep them waiting. Let's get something out of the cask.
All right.
So.
That's your job.
My job, yeah. Usually Horst is my assistant, so here.
Yes.
You just have to screw it open and then we pump something. have a look. You have to go a bit down for that. Bit down.
Okay. Oh, now it's running.
There you go. Now you can adjust the speed by going down and up.
Speed it up. Pretty nice color.
Yeah, it really changed a lot. It really become much darker. Ah, nice. And I can already smell it.
Yeah,
Oh, bit lower. And up. So,
pretty good.
Yeah, you told me a nice technique. Next time I'm gonna have a different method of getting my samples.
Yeah.
Because this is a bit,
You get your spirit quicker with that other method.
with a, what's it, syringe or a flange or something like that.
Yeah.
Dropping a bit. So, and now we have some old samples.
Yeah, the new make?
I think we'll take the new make.
Yes.
And how about the 3/4 of a year?
Yeah, let's take that one.
Yeah. And where's the... Lost the sheet of paper, we take a new one. And I need to hammer it in.
Pretty good.
I find it amazing how airtight the cask is.
What?
Airtight. It really doesn't lose any.
I got a pen.
We got a pen. So it's the 17th of May.
Right?
And look at that color. Look at that color.
Very nice color.
So let's have a look. I think that's a bit out. Look at that color. That's the 0. That's 3/4 of a year.
Yeah, pale straw and a light golden.
And 1.5 years. Nice.
Yes.
So yeah, this is a FAQ live stream. So if you have any questions to Pat or me, then just write them in the chat so you can ask us anything, preferably about whiskey. Cheers, yeah. We're now drinking.
This is water.
This is water.
Water of life.
Water. Horse is looking fantastic today.
Thank you.
Okay, so your new make.
Yeah.
How high are you distilling?
We're triple distilling in copper pot stills from Scotland, so we're producing a German single malt whiskey, but like Scottish people do, from Forsyth, the pot stills, and yeah, the spirit is about 69% ABV of alcohol. We reduce it with water to 63.5, and that's the way we fill it into the cask. So the new make you have is 63.5% ABV.
I'm not quite sure. I have to get the. I'm not quite sure. I have to look at the box you gave me. You gave me a few bottles and you sent them afterwards, and he has written on it Mario, right?
Yeah, that's our master distiller Mario.
I'm not quite sure if I said give me the high stuff. I'm not quite sure.
Maybe we tasted it on the German stream and it was pretty rough. So I think maybe it can be 69%. I think so.
Maybe
So
it's
this
the
is
69.
the very raw stuff. We're distilling only malted barley, and you have a malty note in it. You have a fruitiness. It's like pear or green apple. Do you have a little sweetness in it?
Yeah, I have a lot of pear in it. Definitely.
A lot of. It's very fruity.
Very, very fruity. It's like the typical new make, but you have that little touch of maltiness in there. I quite like that. That's what I love about the single malt. You always have that little round touch of maltiness in there.
And here you have it too. In balance with the fruitiness.
So what would you say? I have a question here from Timo K. What would you say are the characteristics of the St. Kilian whiskey? Or let's start with what are the characteristics of St. Kilian spirit? Are they more lighter or more spicy? How would you characterize it?
Yeah, it's a pretty light spirit, a very fruity spirit with hints of green apple and pear. That's the notes we are already nosing in this new make. A very fruity and light new make with a light sweetness and a little barley expression on the nose and on the tongue. It's a pretty light new make.
Light new make you go for. So, yeah.
Smooth.
I think I'll go
Gentle.
for a bit more water this time.
Of course.
Go for double.
I tasted it that way.
I had it in the German take
Later.
Later. Okay. Cheers.
Slanger. I think it's the way it's getting out of the pot stills at about 70%. It's pretty raw, it's pretty mighty. But after the first alcoholic touch, you get a nice fruitiness. You have it already in your mouth. I just swallowed it.
When you have more water in it, it's becoming more round, but it's incredibly how much beer is packed into this.
Yeah.
And I think this one is now the new make I've tried the most.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm really excited about how it progresses today. And I'm really excited about what you say, how you compare the new make to what you tasted in your warehouse.
Yeah.
Okay, what conditions are you storing your barrels in, temperature, etc.? From James White.
So the temperature in Germany is, you can have a very hot summer, but mostly you don't have. It's pretty cold in winter, right? But the temperature, the warehouses are not air conditioned. You have a summer, it's not very hot in the warehouses. In winter, it's not very cold. You got a little difference in the temperature, but it's not that way high or that way down like you can think when you stand outside of the distillery. It's pretty the same. We have warehouses outside the distillery that are bunkers. They are a little bit down in the earth, and there you got perfect conditions to mature whiskey, temperature and everything. So we're maturing in the distillery and outside, and there you got different impressions of temperature and maturation.
So where is St. Kilian located from Craig Foster?
Maybe you know Frankfurt. It's near Frankfurt, half an hour away from Frankfurt, between Frankfurt and Würzburg. It's in Bavaria, near the village of Miltenberg. Maybe you know that. It's at the river Main.
So yeah, it's nearly south, but like a third up or something like that.
Maybe like that. That region.
Yeah. Let's have the one that's a bit more matured.
Yeah.
Yeah, in the German take we had the question, how is the lid, the top of the barrel, how is that affecting? How much area would you say is a top of a barrel?
If you reduce the tops, both tops, front and back, maybe it's about 30% less wood you mature in, maybe 30%.
Yeah, something like that. I would say as well.
So you have to mature longer for. So I'm a little bit confused. Oh, okay, right.
Second glass. Okay, you've put yours down. I'll put mine down as well.
Yeah,
so we're not getting confused.
Okay, that's yours. So how old is this?
3/4 of a year.
Okay.
We started at the 25th of September 2017, and this was the 6th of June.
Last year, yeah. 2018.
2018. Okay. We're a bit more than 1.5 years, aren't we? Should have calculated that beforehand, but I can't calculate it now. This was not like 3/4 of a year. This is more like half. Nah, this is more. This is 3/4, and this is. We're 1 3/4. This is not 1.5 years now. This is 1 3/4. Oh, you've taught. Nobody in a German take calculated it. So what you got in your nose?
I got some spices, some toasted oak. So the question was, what kind of barrel is this barrel you have here?
It's a American white oak.
So it's a virgin oak
oak cask with heavy toast.
Yeah.
I wanted to have a heavy toast because that has the most amount of caramel in it, and the caramel is responsible for the color. Because I didn't want to end up like a really pale one. I wanted to end up with a really deep color, because the main goal of Whisky Vision TV is showing the maturing in one go from start to finish.
Yeah. And I think you smell the toasting, the heavy toasting.
Mm-hmm. I would have expected like more of a vanilla caramel type, but it's not that.
You have a hint of oak and a little bit the burning of the wood.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty light.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's so much different from the new make. Where's the pear?
The pear, I think it's lost a bit.
A little bit. I can smell the alcohol.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's 3/4 of a year, and you don't have the top and the bottom of the barrel. I was a bit
more alcohol.
I was a bit disenfranchised, not enthusiastic. What do you call it? Bit down when I tried it after 1 month, after 2 months, after 3 months. It was like, and Horst was like, new make.
No, it's not only the new make character. It's not. You got a little bit from the cask. You got a little spiciness.
I think this one was the one that was the first one where we said, no, that's not 100% new make. It was like, yeah, you do have something different. It definitely changed, but it's far from a whiskey.
Yeah.
It's far from a whiskey. Slange.
Cheers. Oh, nice sweetness.
Mm-hmm.
Fruitiness. And then?
The body has more from the new make.
Yeah.
Definitely. A lot of pear in it. A lot of fruitiness in it. But
also a little bit of spiciness from the casks. And a little bit of oak.
In the finish, definitely.
Yeah.
But in the beginning, I do have a little bit of that vanilla caramel already coming. Absolutely. A little bit. But it's still... It's when you try it, you're like... new make, but a bit more interesting. Mm-hmm. But it's, it's no whiskey, but it's
pretty nice.
It's interesting.
I like that fresh oak character in it.
Are you going to try finishing it in a different type of cask?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good question for me. I haven't thought the project through. The only thing I have is that I have to give up half of the cask to the distillery when I bottle it. That's the deal. But I think I will bottle it in very small bottles to give it a good share to all the people around.
Maybe you can take half of your amount and finish it in another cask. That would be nice.
That would be an interesting idea. You have a good program with 30-liter casks.
Yeah.
That you can buy at the distillery. So, I've talked to the Cooper and he said, you can do anything with the cask with that show casks. So we could like split it, but then I have to do more of that rigging there with cameras and my IT guy's not gonna like that because I think we're on the last IP address. Yeah, I like it.
I like it too.
Mm-hmm. So, kind of first use bourbon smoky cask. Don't know what you mean by smoky cask because the toasting is giving you very, very little smoky.
Yeah.
So when you talk about a smoky whiskey, I'm not sure what you meant with smoky cask. The smoke when you have in the whiskey, we're gonna try it later in the second stream. We're gonna have a really smoky whiskey that usually comes from peat smoke.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's you had something with a little bit of what do you call that before in the German stream?
Yeah, it's like when you burn wood Not totally, but a little bit. And the smell of the lightly burned wood I have in this one.
That's strange because back in the days we were always like, no, if you toast or char a cask that has no smokiness, the layer from a charred cask, and it always happens to be bit charred, the layer between the charred and the wood is actually emitting phenols.
Okay.
The char itself is more taking out the phenols because it's like a charcoal filter, but the in between is like halfway burnt, and that's the phenols.
Okay, that's pretty interesting.
So yeah, you can get a bit of smokiness through these casks, but it's compared to what we have in the peat, it's a hint. But yes, first use bourbon casks. And if you look at the old expressions from the bourbons, they have some really, really nice color.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm looking for. So I'm really excited.
Yeah, me too.
About the last one. I have to say, I'm not sure. I don't have to do that too often because I only got 2 bottles of every timeline.
Okay. So don't taste that one again.
The
next few years. It's half emptied.
Good.
So let's check out the last one.
1 3/4 of a year. And I've always said that in every stream, and I always forget it. And actually, the alcohol meter arrived at my desk, and it's downstairs, and I forgot it. I always said, yeah, next time I'm gonna measure how much alcohol we have in the cask, and I've never done it.
This one smells very spicy for me. It's like
it changed a lot.
It's wood and spice. Yeah, it changed a lot.
It changed a lot. It's much more from oaky character. You have a lot of oak in there, as you said.
You have that typical virgin oak character. It smells for me. It smells like a young virgin oak matured whiskey.
Yeah, which it is.
It's not already a whiskey, but it smells like a 4 or 5 year old.
Oh, it's interesting how
I like that. The characteristic of the fresh wood, the spiciness, and the smoked wood. I smell it in this one too.
It's what I like about it. It's much more settled, much more round. When you go in with a new make, you always have that freshness, and that always reminds me a bit of a window cleaner, especially if you have 70%.
The citrus notes,
the
floral notes,
yeah,
a window cleaner. I know what you mean.
But this one is now.
It's pretty round.
Really, really round
for that low age.
Oh, especially when you put water in it.
Oh, first of all, you got the alcohol, but after that, there comes a sweetness from vanilla. And in the background, the spiciness. I pretty like it. Very like it.
Oh, we have a question for you. When will St. Kilian be available in the United States?
That's a very good question. Last weekend we released our first single malt whiskey, a 3-year-old. It's looking like this. And it's available in Germany and Austria. And we don't know when it will be available in Germany. We're working for a core range of whiskey. Maybe that core range in the next few years will be available in the US. Oh, you're already tasting.
Sorry.
I put that away. That's for the next stream. You're just tasting.
Sorry. Tasting is getting a bit more disorganized. Luckily, I don't have to do the big part in the last tasting. So how far are you from the Frankfurt airport?
Half an hour. Maybe 40 minutes.
Maybe
it
40
depends
minutes.
on the traffic.
So if you would buy another luggage and you would have a layover of, let's say, 4 or 5 hours in Frankfurt, you just get out, get the cask, 30 liters, put it in your bag, stuff it with
Sounds
dirty
like a
clothes.
very good plan, yeah.
So if you ever have a layover in Frankfurt...
Yeah, come to Rüdenau, visit St. Kilian, buy a cask of whiskey, take it with you home and show it to your friends.
So how much is a 30-liter cask of whiskey?
It depends on peated or unpeated, fresh wood or bourbon or sherry cask, about 2,000 euros. We bottle it after 3 years. If you want to have it bottled on 50 bottles at cask strength, personalized label, and you get the empty cask with you. So you can fill it a second time. That's possible, or you can make a nice furniture out of it.
So you're not allowed to take the cask with you? Or?
You can take the cask with you. You can put it at home. So it's more cheaper to take it with you because we don't store it at the distillery, and we bottle it not in our bottle. So it's maybe you can. It's cheaper, about 500 euros roundabout.
So if you take it home, you only charge 500 euros.
No, it's cheaper 500 euros. So you spend about 1,500 euros for a cask when you take it with you.
You get a discount of 500 euros.
Yeah, I don't know if you can take a cask of with you on the airplane. I don't know if that's working.
I don't think you can put it in your handbag, but I think you can put it in your packed bag. Read your manuals, or what do you call it, the terms and conditions of your airline.
Maybe that's right. It could be very interesting if you can take your cask on the airplane, on the seat next to you. My cask.
Oh, you have to put it in one of these little plastic bags when you go through security.
It could be very nice when the stewardess is coming and asking you, "Do you want to drink whiskey?" And I say, "No, I already have my own." That could be very nice.
Yeah, very, very cool. Okay, there a guy from Sweden, from Lyon, and what do you have? St. Kilian event. There was a question for the United States. Okay, we're running a bit low on questions, and I think we need a little break for a little bit of refreshment. So, do you have anything?
No, I'm just drinking water of life.
So, if you'd like to see more about the St. Kilian Distillery, we're gonna have a second live stream at the next full hour, because you're all in different time zones, and definitely. So the next full hour we're gonna go live again, and we're gonna have another range of older whiskies, and that's gonna be peated whiskies from St. Kilian.
Yeah, and the first single malt whiskey of St. Kilian.
Okay, so thank you very much for watching, and see you in about 30 minutes or something like that.
Yeah, maybe 30 minutes.
Okay. See you then.
Bye-bye.